Hey everybody, Kaoiji here. So I've been away for a little bit again because I got sick. I was also on vacation. I got sick while I was on vacation, and then a hurricane hit Florida, which stopped me from coming home from my vacation for another 2 days. But my birds are going crazy in the background, but we're gonna roll with it anyway. I'm just gonna upload the video as it is. So awesome. Anyway, Sonic Frontiers helped me avoid burnout in New Genesis, and here's why. It's in combination of me taking vacation, which helped me to finally, after years, even though I've taken breaks from content, like stop thinking about content creation. Like I was actually able to like reset my brain, and it's helped me creatively. It's helped me as a person, just taking that time away from just, I'm not a content creator, I'm just a dude. This felt good. It helped my brain to reset a lot of things. But while I was sitting on my friend's couch playing Sonic Frontiers while I was sick, he's like, this game just looks like New Genesis. And I'm like, yeah, man, it's because it is. And it's weird because Sonic Frontiers takes a lot of the things that New Genesis does and it makes them Sonic, right? Where it's like you have this open world, you're going through the grasslands, the volcano, the ice levels, blah, blah, blah. And it's really cool. But then at the end of every chapter, you have like these big epic boss battles. And the way that I was envisioning that was like, this is just an urgent quest happening in my Sonic game, right? And I began to realize that that's kind of what's been missing from New Genesis is we have one really cool urgent quest. And that's Dark Falls. Now, because every single one of the Titans that are available in Sonic Frontiers is accompanied with a really sick soundtrack, really cool mechanics. Even though you can't technically die in those, you still have some mechanics to deal with. And that's what was, kind of like really exciting about the Titan fights in Sonic Frontiers. You also had all the different levels. That Sonic game was, in my opinion, if you're a Sonic fan, you will love Sonic Frontiers because as a game, it's kind of mid in its own way because it is just New Genesis, and New Genesis, as weird as it sounds, also excels in certain things, but misses the mark in others. So in playing Sonic Frontiers, I began to think of like, there's all these world collectibles, there's all these things that we can start grabbing. There's like, I'm exploring the world of Sonic Frontiers, but I don't necessarily always explore the world in New Genesis. And that's kind of one of the things that I really would like for us to have in this open world scenario. It's like, where's the world exploration? I don't see any of that, right? The urgent quests, as fun as it is, ultimately kind of bites hard because they're not as epic as they used to be. And when you go back and you fight all of the base PS2 urgent quests, Yamato, Mother, Tree Daddy, you start thinking about Persona, you start thinking about even some of the past ones, like or even some of the past bosses like Barlotos and things like that. All of those fights were epic, but they don't really feel that way in New Genesis. There's also none of those segmented bosses that we've grown accustomed to in the world of Phantasy Star. We see them all out in the world, but ultimately a lot of the ones that we see out in the world, they're not as exciting, as dynamic as they used to be, right? So it's this weird shift in gameplay. And Sonic Frontiers kind of brought that into light for me a little bit more, because I'm like, wow, all of these enemies have their own separate mechanics. All of these things have to be dealt with differently. And it's like, why is it that I just press a couple buttons and enemy dies in New Genesis, but I dodge occasionally, right? Dark Falls is kind of the only one in my head currently right now that has any real mechanics. You attack the arms and you break the arms. You have to dodge all these mechanics. You can't get hit by the arms when they're popping up from the ground. You have the second phase. He does the dash. He's constantly jumping. He does that pulsing. There's a lot that goes on in the urgent quest that doesn't really happen in any of the others. So it's like, it's weird. But Sonic Frontiers made me enjoy New Genesis again, because I started thinking about New Genesis as like as this different game now, right? Because Sonic Frontiers is a better Phantasy Star than New Genesis, but New Genesis has combat that ultimately will rival any game that comes out in the next couple of years, because it's just that well made, right? It needs some balance adjustments still, but it's just really well made. So if they can add the content and add the bosses to match that, then the game's gonna be great. And it took Sonic Frontiers to kind of to remind me of that, because it's not like I haven't said any of that before, but it took that time to remind me. But I said burnout, right? Because ultimately I was getting sick and tired of a lot of the things that New Genesis was doing, like a lot of the people in my comment sections were. So I've been taking freaking breaks from the game, playing other stuff, but then that led to me getting burnt out on gaming as a whole. So taking that like 2-week vacation, almost forcibly 2-week vacation, and then getting sick and not being able to play, too many games from there. And then, playing Sonic Frontiers during the time away, a lot of that helped me to reset my brain and just started helping me enjoy video games again, just as an entire whole. And I attribute a lot of that to Sonic Frontiers, because it's what started the conversation in my head. About the comparison from Sonic Frontiers to New Genesis. And I'm like, but wait, and I started thinking about other games and all these other things. It's been really cool. But ultimately, I'm excited for things again. I'm excited for a couple of the things that are going to happen in December when it comes to Phantasy Star. And I hope that you guys are going to be too, because I think now that Sonic Frontiers is out, I would hope that Sega understands that New Genesis fans want to continue, or Phantasy Star fans want to continue the game, and Sonic fans want to also enjoy New Genesis, because there are a lot of Sonic fans who play New Genesis that have seen the comparisons and have made the comparisons. I would hope that a lot of, they take the data that they get from Sonic Frontiers and they add that to every game that they have going forward, because they're looking at that data. They're seeing that data. And not only should they use that to make adjustments to Sonic Frontiers, but also to New Genesis. And I'm hoping that they get that spark back. Because if you look at Sega's history, the reason why Sega's on the map, and I was making this as a part of a video that I don't even know if I want to launch right now, because it's just a big project. Sega has been known for innovation in the gaming industry for a long time. Sega's made a lot of innovations, but in the recent years, they've kind of grown stagnant. And I'm hoping that now that they've released this banger Sonic game and New Genesis is almost there as a banger game, they're going to start listening and using that to go back to how they used to be. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But anyway, this is just a video for me to rant about how I'm not burnt out on New Genesis anymore. And thanks Sonic Frontiers for that. But anyway, guys, I've been sick. I'm going to go take care of myself. Thank you guys again for watching. Stay awesome. Stay beautiful. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. I'm out.